understand that the grass is going to be the most green where you're standing when you're watering it right now.
That's Jordan, and home is where his heart is. He's the founder of DealMate, a peer-to-peer real estate tech platform, and he joins thought leaders today with a full house of advice around failure, family, and philosophy, all through the lens of his entrepreneurial journey. Now, there is also a twist. For the first time on this show, instead of one featured pour, we'll be sampling a flight of 6. Starting off light, flowery, and approachable, and finishing with a 15% absolute monster. Will we make it all the way to the end? You'll have to keep watching to find out. Enjoy the show.
Well, without further ado, let's get into the first one. Now this is Witta, and cheers to you. Thanks for doing this.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
What's your story? What are you currently up to? Tell us all about it.
Currently, I'm the founder of DealMate. We're developing a proptech platform that is an end-to-end solution for buyers and sellers. All of these other proptech companies out there, you have your Zillows, your Redfins,
right.
Compass Realty, EXP, the different brokerages, they all cater to real estate agents. So we're different in the fact that we cater directly to the consumer, directly to the buyer, the seller, so that they can harness all the technology and use all of the tools to be able to do this on their own without the need for any intermediary.
How many people sell their homes and buy homes in this way today as compared to like traditionally?
So traditionally, you're looking at a $46 trillion market. Now we're about 5 to 7% of that market. So annually, I believe it's around 6 trillion is earmarked for people who are selling on their own. Over 36% of homeowners say that they feel confident that they can sell their home without using a realtor.
Yep.
So we're just looking to empower those people and give them the tools and the resources and the access to the buyers, which is what traditionally most agents are going to do for you.
Let's just say Zillow, for instance. I go to Zillow a lot. I look around and you know what's funny? I still see what's available around here, even though I have a house.
Yeah.
But I just get curious about it. It almost feels like should DealMate grow and take over part of that 6 trillion piece, Zillow might come knocking on your proverbial door. We like that idea?
We like that.
Okay, we like that idea. Zillow, huh? What are we saying? All right, come on.
Zillow.
You got an aspiring businessman right here. You got DealMate. It's already built. Come on, man. I know you got capital.
Yeah.
This is the man to put it into. I got to try this next one over. This is a gold beer, which I've never even heard of before. But cheers to gold beer.
Cheers to gold beer.
Pittsburgh Brewing Company and The Alchemist. How did you cut your teeth in this world, sales-wise?
So it's funny. I was on the phone with my mom. Okay. I am driving. I don't know if you're familiar with Cutco knives. I saw an ad in the paper, and back in the day, they would. If I'm looking in the paper for something, this is obviously years ago, right?
Yeah.
So they had this great ad in there where it was like, "Hey, benefits. We're paying X amount an hour plus commission." It just seemed amazing. So I get all dressed up. I'm a young gunner at that point. I get all dressed up. I go to this interview, and I'm talking to my mom on the way back, and she's like, "How was it?" I'm like, I got the job, and I wasn't so excited about it. She's like, it's selling knives door to door.
Yeah.
They kind of like pulled the wool out from me. And
Right.
And so as I'm on my way back, I recall that Rourke Lexus, which is the car dealership I started at, they had an ad in the paper also. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go for it. I
Just
did
right
a
then and
U-turn.
there? You already had the suit on.
I did a U-turn
Uh-huh.
in the middle of West Liberty Avenue, which is one of the busiest streets in Pittsburgh. I was just rough around the edges. I didn't have any professional clothes, really. I had one outfit, and that's the one I was wearing.
Right.
It was like the same one I wore to my graduation, I think.
Okay.
So this was it.
Right.
And Rob gave me a shot, introduced me to the general sales manager. They both gave me a shot. One of my best sales, actually, selling Lexus was, we had this guy come in, and he's dressed in like farmer overalls, and he's dirty from head to toe.
Oh, I think I know where this story's going. I'm guessing, right? This is the guy that comes in with $100 bills and pays for it in cash, right?
Exactly.
But I don't want to spoil it going. So what happened?
So nobody wanted to take this up, we called it, and so they would look at me and they would like, kind of laugh and like, hey, go take this.
Right.
Go take this up. And so I just treated him just like I would any other normal up.
Right.
And he purchased a fleet of Lexuses off of me that day.
Oh my God, like how many cars?
3 cars.
Jeez. All right, number 3, hard cider. In the spirit of an apple orchard and raising fruit, we both have families. We're both trying to build businesses at the same time. I'm a little newer to that than you are, so this is a bit of personal advice, but what are lessons that you've learned or now practice that you've had when it comes to being a tendful farmer in each? Because I have struggled with that balance myself.
It's just coming to the realization that you come from sales, I come from sales. We're always selling something, and we understand that our time is one of the most valuable, if not the most valuable asset that we have. And so in sales, we're always trying to maximize our value.
Yep.
And then we learn these different axioms of sales and just leadership of just like, your team can only grow to the extent that the leader does. The law of the lid from the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. As a father, as a husband, it's important to understand that those axioms of sales directly correlate with our personal lives.
Yeah.
And so when we truly go to put that effort and that time into our personal relationships, they will pay us back tenfold, probably more than any business ever could, because it just gives you something that the business never can. It's about making a choice to start that transformation at home.
Yeah.
Start that impact at home and be that leader at home. And then that'll resonate throughout everything you do in business, just as a character trait.
Right. That is still something that I'm growing with.
Yeah.
Because I think as men, it's just as it is, like we have this primal need to provide in whatever sense that means. I'm in the business game. I'm always looking at in terms of the number that I'm bringing home, right? Now it's number of hours that I could spend teaching my daughter how to crawl or whatever it is, right? That's something that is so new to me that it's difficult to shake out of my predetermined concept of what providing is. And so it's good to get that perspective from you. And if there are any new dads, new moms, people raising families and businesses in the comments, I genuinely would love to hear your thoughts on this, because I'll be the first to admit that I'm not great at it.
Then the other thing that I'll leave with is just, inspect what you expect. Because if you're looking to grow an apple tree, you're certainly not going to plant oranges.
Yeah.
And so inspect what you expect. And then that'll just kind of allow you to just slow down in a lot of ways to say, well, this is what I want. What am I actually doing to get this desired outcome?
Number 4.
That thing looks serious. Oh, that looks good. I like this. Pour a little bit more of the
Okay,
dark
all right,
stuff.
yeah, okay. We're going to get a little extra here. Okay, it's good. This one we take it all the way down. Cheers.
Cheers to that.
So, in the spirit of learning and in the spirit of making what may seem foreign more familiar, maybe like a European-styled lager might be, how do you best learn?
How I learn best. I go out, I try new things. I implement fast. And so in implementing fast, I use a process called EMAR, which is basically an acronym for engage in an activity, measure the results, make adjustments, and then re-engage in that activity. And I read a ton of books as well, just as a side note. So I learn. Let
me do a quick segment here because we're on the subject of learning.
Okay.
So this segment is called I Remember My First Beer. Talk to me about an early mistake you made, an early lesson you learned, and how that sticks with you today.
That's great. I would say that one of the biggest mistakes that I made early on was thinking that the grass was greener on the other side of the fence. I think that that's the biggest advice that I can give, is just to understand that the grass is going to be the most green where you're standing when you're watering it right now.
I'm so glad you said that. Like, I don't know why I missed. So talk about like phrases that I love. Something I think I heard it for the first time in the last 12 months. And it was such a weird twist, because you always, grass is always greener on the other side. And then I heard that corollary to it, which is the grass is always greenest where you water it.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, yeah, if you are thinking about what's on the other side of the fence, you're watering that grass. Of course it's going to be greener.
Of course. Imagine, I'm a very visual guy. I've been like this. So even as I'm talking, I have pictures in my head. So when I say the grass is greenest, I'm literally picturing me watering grass as I'm saying this.
Yeah.
Okay. So just imagine for a minute, we're standing there, we're at a picket fence.
Okay.
On one side, we've got this guy and we just see him and his grass is just beautiful.
Uh-huh.
And then on our side, we're not doing anything but watching this guy water his grass. And you see that our grass is just barren and it's just lacking of nutrients. And it's just such a great analogy for life to say that you need to focus on what's important, where you're standing, and then you'll have an opportunity to flourish. And so, while we're sitting there watching this person, with their pristine grass, because they are doing the work that needs to be done to get it there. And then so, if we're going to emulate anything, we don't necessarily need to hop the fence. We need to emulate the work ethic that's going to get our grass looking the same way.
Yeah, poignant. Number 5.
Oh, man, give that thing a smell. Oh, man, that's dank right there.
Cheers to you. This is the Sour Series Orange Creamsicle. Because it's the Sour Series, it's an unexpected flavor. How do you stay resilient in the face of something sour?
So I don't know if I've brainwashed myself throughout the years or if it was just something that's brainwashed me, but I have this hyper optimistic mindset. Okay, so you mix that with the just pragmatic saying of some will, some won't, so what? Just keep it pushing. And so when you've been classically trained in sales, you understand that it's a numbers game. You're not gonna win them all.
Right.
And so if you go in there understanding that, hey, there's no way I'm gonna bat 100%. Some of the best baseball players in history are batting 300, meaning that they're striking out 7 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
And these are the greats. And so I think the best thing to do is to just understand that, every day that we wake up, not only is it a blessing, it's an opportunity for us to take what we've learned and implement it.
Yeah, you are full of great phrases. I don't know, you're pulling all these out. Is this from the reading? This is like, you got this like an encyclopedia. Seriously. Folks, if you have the sour in your life, right? The unexpected flavor. I want to know how you're resilient to it. Why don't you make a comment with the word sour, and I'll know that you watched this long into the video. I got my eye on you. All right, Jordan. This is the Final Flourish. The Final Flourish is a quadruple IPA. So while we aren't going to necessarily drink this one to the very bottom of the glass, this is where we got to ask some of the heaviest questions of the whole show. Based on where DealMate is today, your career trajectory to this point, and what you hope for the future, how do you envision a day in the life for you 5 years from now?
Free, man.
Free.
Impactful. Okay. So my goal in life is just to create impact. I want to go and I want to touch as many lives as possible through whatever medium it is that God put on my heart. Right now it's DealMate. I'll be honest, I'm looking to exit DealMate. I'm going to build it up.
Right.
We're going to build up bottom line revenue. We're going to build up the sales processes, and we're going to absolutely sell this thing, and we're going to crush it. And when that happens, that will kind of create that chain reaction to really start making an impact.
I need one more nugget. This is a segment we called The Last Call.
Okay.
Now this audience, hopefully, is people who are building their own brands in whatever sense they see fit. What is that last call nugget piece of advice that you can leave us with so that we can go on and have thoughts of our own?
Whatever the mind can perceive and believe, it can achieve. And I know it sounds so cliche.
I was about to cut you off and be like, I've heard that a lot.
It sounds so cliche, but it is the absolute truth. Believe in yourself. Know in your heart and your mind that you will undoubtedly accomplish your goal. See yourself as if that goal has already come to fruition. And man, heaven and earth will move to give you the resources that you need to accomplish it.
Well, I've learned a ton today. I'm so glad that I was able to talk with you about all matters of entrepreneur and being the family man and being resilient. But I do want to make sure we come back to the point of what you're all up to and what people can look up. So where can people find you?
So check us out at DealMate.network. We have a growing wait list right now. I don't know if we're going to cut it off, but we're definitely going to incentivize.
Oh, we got to tell them. We got to tell them it's like super limited. What are you talking about?
Wait list. It's done right now. If you're seeing this, it's too late.
We're gonna post this video within 24 hours. The wait list is closed, man, and they're getting the best deals, mate. It's been a great chat. Thanks for sharing your thoughts over a liter with me.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you being on Thought Leaders, and cheers. Afterthought. This is the first time I've tested the flight. Which one did you actually like?
I think I'm gonna go with the cinder lens as being my favorite.
There you go. Thank you so much.